Hello and welcome to the Howl. In today's podcast, 4 Down Territory, we had Hersey Head Football coach Tom Nelson and two players from the team, Jack Armstrong and Ryan Stearns, as we talked about past football games as well as getting to know some of the players as well as Coach Nelson. Hi everybody, welcome to the first episode of 4 Down Territory. I'm your host Conner Krebs. Alongside me is Gabby Tagos, our producer, and of course head coach of the Hersey football team, Tom Nelson. Two of his senior leaders are my very good friends, Ryan Stearns and Jack Armstrong. Nice of you guys to be here. Welcome to the new podcast room. I'm excited.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks.
of course.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, so first question. Coach, this is obviously your first year here. What have you implemented the most within the program with this being your first year?
Good question, Connor. Well, I've actually been here for a lot of years, but first year as head coach. That's a great question. I think just try to be myself. You know, I think our kids they're smart kids. You know, they feed off how I act, what I do, and I'm just trying to be me. And I want them to be them. So I think that's the biggest thing. I don't think you need to be anybody else. I think what we got is plenty good. So just be us, and that's really been my message from day one.
Yeah, and then with that, Jack, Ryan, what have you guys noticed the biggest changes this year with Tom as the head coach instead, Pardon?
You want me to go first? I would say definitely the practices. I mean, we're still doing like team periods like we did with Coach Pardon, and obviously Coach Pardon did a good job. But I would say I feel a lot more competitiveness in practice, and I feel like we're getting we're like more productive than we were in years before. And yeah, that's mostly it.
Competitiveness is a big thing too. Like, that's like the biggest thing that gets us prepared for the game is like competing in practice and like making each other better. Like that's one of the biggest things I feel like that benefit our team. That's like why we come out week one always like ready to play, is because we're doing like how we play in games. We're doing that in practice. Yeah,
and Tom, I kind of got a goofy one here for you. Something I love that you brought back. What inspired you to bring the brown jerseys back?
Man, I think it's just part of Hersey culture. You know, I think you just got to embrace it, you know. I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap. I actually think it's a pretty decent color when done right. So
Yeah.
I figured let's do it right. Let's make it look cool. Let's bring it back. And Hersey, you know, obviously before my time has won a lot of games wearing brown. So why not us?
Yeah, no, I gotta say, I do love that part. All right, so now I'm going to just dive a little deeper into each of the games. Week one, you guys came out against a higher-ranked New Trier at the beginning of the year. We weren't really sure what to expect, but you ended up dominating 31-0. What would you say was the biggest key to victory there, and what got you so ready for that game?
I think just, you know, obviously week one for a high school football team, there's a lot going on. You don't really know what you are. You know, the seniors got a lot of weight on their shoulders, a lot of expectations. I think I'm just proud of our kids, the way they kind of battled adversity in that first half. And then we kind of settled down and showed people who we really are in the second half. Obviously, our defense has played fantastic all year, so that's been kind of the cornerstone of what we've been doing, and the offense will catch up to them. I guarantee that. So.
Yeah, and then with you guys both being selected captains week one, what did that mean to you guys going into the first week or whatever?
It's obviously it's a big honor. Like last year, being a senior-led class, there wasn't a lot of opportunities for like leading your team, and going into the off season, you're kind of like, wow, like I get to like lead this team. You don't really know what it means, like, and like working with the younger kids in the summer, it's a big responsibility. But coming out week one, like being selected captain, like, you know, like, all right, this is my team. We gotta lead these players, and like they look after me, or like, and so just gotta like perform to like show them that we can do it.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome. I would say, like, 2015, I was, like, the water boy, I remember, and I just remember seeing, like, the captains go out before the games, and I was like, wow, it would be really cool to be in their place, and, like, you got to put in that work, though. Like, you got to give your time, you know, like, that's how you're a captain, and definitely going out there with him and Bursch, Ott, and Hanny, it was surreal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, kind of just keep it trucking along here. Week two, we had our first game at home in the Goins. Hersey walked with a 45-14 win against Fremd. With both of you guys scoring touchdowns in that game, what was the energy like after that one, coming home with your first home victory?
Oh, it was huge. Like, God, we feed off the Orange Crush, like, and setting the tone early is like the biggest thing I feel like in football, because if you can hit someone in the mouth first, like they're not going to want anything to do with it after that.
Especially playing like a team like Fremd, who's like so close, and you know all the people there. You get to go out and smoke them week 2, and like you have a good confidence after that, and you're like, there's no better feeling, especially the OC, big crowd. It's like no better feeling.
Yeah, and I'm sure with like the coaching, I know you guys always talk about Charlie Brown and all the things that have gone on with Fremd or whatever. Tom, what was it like for you? And I know Coach Donatucci and all of them, like having a lot of animosity almost with Fremd. What was that like for the coaching staff as well?
Yeah, it's really not something we talked about. Tooch obviously is been at Fremd for a long time, so that has a special place for him. But at the end of the day, it's just a faceless opponent, and we're just going to treat you like everybody else. You know?
Yeah.
So it's time to play football, and let's execute. Let's do our job. Let's worry about us, and obviously good things happened.
And then finally, the last game that happened last Friday at home again was slightly a blowout, ending in a score of 42-0. Already the second shutout. I know you kind of touched on this already. What is the defense done to be so good this year?
They've stopped the run first and foremost. And in high school football, not many teams are effective throwing the forward pass. So if you can make a team one-dimensional in high school football, it's hard to move the ball. So that's what they've done, and then they've made big plays. 2 defensive touchdowns, turnovers on downs. They've turned the ball over. They've made huge plays. So playing at a really high level right now.
And then Jack, like being the cornerstone of that defense, what has it been like for you? I mean, commanding the guys almost in a sense.
A lot of young kids starting on that D, but seeing them grow every week, and then coming out week 1, week 2, week 3, seeing them perform, it's like it's like a dream come true. Like especially with the 9 seniors graduating last year on the D, like having them step up. They've stepped up. They've done their role fantastic, and seeing them perform, it's awesome.
And then my last question for the Deerfield game, Carter Hanson kind of stepped up in a big way with 3 passing touchdowns. What have you been most impressed with Hanson so far this year?
Well, Carter just does a great job of running our offense. He just understands it. He's a really good game manager. He knows what I'm trying to do. And really those guys at the quarterback position are kind of a reflection of me as the play caller. So we got to be in tune with each other, and he does just a really good job of getting the ball to our playmakers. That's the quarterback's job. It's to give the best players on our team the ball in space and let them do the rest. So that's what he does.
And then Rye being one of those main guys that's getting the ball from Hanson, how has he helped you guys in the offense, and Colton too as well? How have they helped you and the rest of the guys perform?
Oh, they've helped us tremendously. And, Hanson, like our class, we've been playing together forever. And just to see, like, all of their hard work pay off, and, like, how Colton and Carter treat each other, just, like, how a team should be. And I think they just feed off of each other, and they pick each other up.
So something I've done with the basketball podcasts in the past, we do some rapid fire questions. Tom, with this being your first podcast in here, I'd love if you would hop into. I know these guys have probably seen a couple of these with the basketball. Some pretty simple stuff, but first question, what meal is your favorite that you can prepare on your own? Chef Boyardee over here can go ahead.
Every Sunday, I make a nice buffalo chicken mac for some football.
Wow.
So, like, buffalo chicken mac, probably.
Good for you. I'm going to go ground beef and rice with some Lowry seasoning salt and teriyaki sauce.
Myself, I'm not a big cook myself, but I love me some salmon.
All right, love that. What's your favorite NFL player? Or who do you model your game after, you could even say, maybe?
Devontae Adams.
Love that.
I'm not a big fan of NFL teams, but I do. For some reason, I kind of like the Eagles. Like, it's kind of out of nowhere.
Fly,
but
Eagles,
like,
fly, man.
Yeah, like I don't know. The Eagles are cool. Like,
So who do
my
you
dad's
like?
a big Packers fan, so I kind of like the Packers.
So what player?
Yeah, what
He
player?
asked about players.
Oh, players? I don't got a favorite
Oh,
player.
man. Google search Luke Kuechly, buddy.
I like, yeah,
Yeah, baller for the Panthers for a while there.
Ray Lewis. I like Ray Lewis.
True,
His
true.
hype videos always get me going.
Nice. Are you gonna ask me
Yeah,
that question?
of course. I know. I think I knew where you were gonna go with this one, but
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I could tell you my favorite player growing up to watch was Sean Taylor. I played safety, so I loved to watch Sean Taylor, Ed Reed, all those guys. So.
And the third question: what's your favorite pregame song?
Oh, it's been the same since freshman year. I have the same 3 songs, but I'll only name one of them. Butterfly Effect by Travis Scott. I have to listen to that on game day.
Okay.
There's just one song Quinn Mullen put me on called Snitch 9.
Oh,
And
Horrible song.
all my friends
Horrible.
hate it, but it's just
so
like
bad.
it just gets. It's just, I have to listen to it before I walk out of the black box every game.
Yeah, Connor, I don't get to listen
Yeah,
to music
yeah.
for the game anymore. But
When you did play, what would you say? Was there one that you just
Oh,
had to
man.
listen to?
No, like I like to listen to all things. I do remember though, like Empire State of Mind came out when I was like playing in 2009, and that was a big song. So that always just comes back to my mind.
And then favorite vacation spot?
Anywhere hot, like on the beach. I don't really like going to like Europe. I'd say I don't think there's really like beaches. It's more like to see places.
Have you been to Europe?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I'd say like beaches, so probably like Hawaii or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Florida.
Go Hawaii.
And then what is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, when someone's face isn't clean, like after they've ate something, it drives me insane.
I don't know. Biggest pet peeve. What is it? You probably know.
Mine's chewing loud, and people like chewing loud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
like,
I would
can't
say like if you have your right turn signal on, but you slowly turn right.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
instead of like you just take your time, even though there's that that drives me nuts. Just turn.
This is kind of new one. I don't know what made me put this one on here, but who is your inspiration and why?
I'll go. This might be a basic answer, but my dad, just because he's one of the hardest working people that I know, and like you can't just like get something you haven't worked for, and I think he does a good job of like telling my brothers that, and yeah.
Cool.
I'll say for football wise, my inspiration, probably like the future or the past like 2016 to like 2018 football teams, like especially like Blake Vonderlippy. Like my family like is like good friends with him, so we kind of like know him, and like hearing him like always talk about like football and like, oh, these guys are like so good, like you always hear about like the 2018 2019 team, like, oh, these guys were really good. They're like, that always just like inspires me to be better. Like, oh, I want to be like them. Like, really, that's what like, makes me work hard.
Yeah, those were good teams for sure. My
Yeah,
inspiration.
yeah.
I mean, my dad was my hero for sure growing up. But now I would say, just the players on our team. Like I don't want to let them down. So like that's what I do. What I do.
So this is another kind of weird one, but if you had to pick one person on the team to be with after the world ends, who would you pick? Just you and that person for the rest of your life. Who would you pick for that person to be?
I'm going Owen Joseph, no doubt.
That's a good pick.
God, I'm gonna go Evan Nomwitz just because of how mellow he is, and at times he can be like energetic when you need him to be, but like for the most part he's mellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Player or coach?
Or coach, yeah, whatever.
I gotta go Riley. I gotta go with my guy.
Of course.
All right, so yeah, that basically wraps it up. I was trying to keep it a little bit short for you guys today because I know you got practice after this. But before we go, I would love to know, do any of you have any shout-outs?
Shout out my mom.
Shout out the Hersey football team. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll shout out my family: Jenny, Addison, Caroline, and Bryn. Let's go. Go
Yes,
Dogs.
sir. Roll skis, baby. Thank you guys for coming. That was another episode of 4 Down Territory. Thank you for all the viewers for watching, and peace.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, you
Sweet.
guys are all good. We'll edit it.
See ya.
It's so different.
I know, hearing it echo in you. Thank
Thanks,
you guys
guys.
so much. Yeah.